Out of the bag, but we have our very special guest in the studio right now, and as we promised, a live interview with amiable Governor, the Governor of Delta State, His Excellency Dr. Emmanuel Uduaghan, the Commander of the Order. Good morning and welcome, sir.
Good morning.
Yes. First of all, let's start on a very happy note. Team Delta of Delta State, the contingent to the 18th National Sports Festival, made us proud with 114 gold medal, silvers and bronze, and it was a record which was created. What was the magic?
Well, the magic, I would say, started from the era of Bermuda, when he was governor of Midwest, Bender. He laid the foundation for the success we are recording in sports today. He took sports very seriously. This area, at least that time, was also within the sports festival. And then when we became Delta, we had the era of James coming in. He went further to improve on the facilities, on the infrastructure of sports. We started a lot of stadia, so we are completing now. But much more importantly, it is it's the thing that I put on ground from David Boris era, and that is taking care of the future of our sportsmen. The fear of any human being is the future. When you are aging, what happens to you? And from that time, because I was part of that government, so I know what happened. For any sports festival we took part in, for those who won gold medal, silver, and even bronze, they were employed by the state government, and that ensured that their future was assured. You see, because if you notice, a lot of our sportsmen, a lot of our artists, once they are off the stage, they no longer, nobody takes care of them. But our athletes, our sportsmen in Delta, many of them are employed. So even if they are no longer participating, they are working, they are receiving their monthly salary, and they are even they are hoping to get to pensionable age. You know, so that is a big factor in the success we are recording. That a lot of our athletes that are with the state government, they are sure of their future. So of course, we must protect that future. And I've continued that tradition. We go for any national sports festival, we win, we automatically become part of the government, or we give you scholarship, or not something to encourage you. I will tell you that even somebody like Blessing of Kabari is still a staff of Delta State government.
Okay, with all this one, what comes next? Are we just hoping to relax and let them be, or start getting new young ones to join the team?
No, I have started a program that is going back to basics in sports, going back to the grassroots, going back to the schools. In those days, our schools produced the athletes and the other sportsmen that we had in Nigeria. Aussie College is an example. Aussie College had basically most of the top athletes in Nigeria. The government college was there, of course, the school I attended, Federal Government College. The sportsmen were produced from the schools. So that's what we've gone back to as a state government. In fact, ours would be a little bit lower, that is going back to the primary school to start producing sportsmen. We started the Governor's Cup, which is an inter-secondary school competition, football competition, that is ongoing now. We are starting some relays for the primary schools, starting from next year. So we are going back to the grassroots to pick athletes. The girl that, 60-year-old girl that won gold medal in the long jump from Ughelli is in the school. You know, so we have them. The swimmers we took, one of them that won 6 gold medals. He was discovered in the village because he can hardly speak English. You know, and I must comment to Rubere because Rubere has become the home of swimmers in Delta. The family called Focados. Each time they keep producing swimmers that are making us proud. And we have so many of such people around the river area of the Delta State. So we are going back to grassroots. We are going out to fish out the sport.
Yeah, our next question is a very touching one, and everybody's wondering what is on at the moment. The kidnap, how far has the government gone in trying to?
We've gone very far, but naturally I cannot give details here. I don't jeopardize the program here. I must say that that case was rather unfortunate.
It gets a little bit scary. Everybody's being careful now. It's as if kidnapping is on the rise again.
Yeah, it's on the rise again. Just for us, really, as citizens, like I keep saying, to do two things. Also, one, to be more careful in our movement. Secondly, to also assist us with the community. Let me assure our people that we are doing everything possible. We know that this period, especially when they get to Christmas, there tends to be rise in criminal activities. But we are doing everything possible to deal with the situation. And I must admit that I feel very disappointed in certain categories of persons try to meddle with security issues. Will not give room for such meddlesome actions by our people. Nobody can say it's insulated from all these criminals. It could be you tomorrow, if it is not you. If it is not me, that okay, I have some protection, a lot of protection. It could be somebody related to me. So we must all take the issue seriously. We must not turn it to political issue.
But they say because the ransom is being paid, the kidnappers, tend to be, kidnapping tend to be increased.
Yes, we do not encourage ransom. In fact, we don't get ourselves involved in ransom as a government and as individuals. But I also noticed that because of that, some families bypass the government or they are so anxious, which is natural. Somebody very close to you has been kidnapped, 24 hours, the person has not been seen, 48 hours. I know that I've dealt with a case where the person was there for 39 days, refused to pay ransom, eventually got him out. They were caught. I want to discourage the payment of ransom. I understand the feelings when it happens, but as much as possible, let us together see how we can deal with this. If ransom is not paid, I'm sure the cases will reduce.
Talking about the school, where you mentioned, especially when you mentioned about getting people who do sports from the school, we found out that the school buildings beautifully, especially when you go to Nana College, come to the one very close to your house there. But the thing is, furniture are not in there. The buildings are not yet being used. The children are now going to be.
Have you been to that one? The one near my house when there's no furniture?
Yes, the last time I went.
No, there's furniture.
There's furniture.
Yeah, it was commissioned by the national chairman, and I don't think we're allowed to commission without furniture. That's one of the best furniture, computers and everything.
There was a problem at that time. We went there and it was empty, especially the staff quarter, the staff room, and the principal's.
Everything is there now. It's one of the best furnished schools in Nigeria.
Okay, and they had to put the state school so that everybody knows there is a state school.
Yeah.
Okay, and
in fact, it has something that no school has in Nigeria. That is a clocking system.
Yeah.
As you enter, either as a student or as a teacher, you clock in.
Okay.
And as you come out, you also clock out. So we don't need to argue. I was in school today. I wasn't in school today.
Okay, I need to visit the place.
Yes.
For Nana, the building, the magnificent building there, it's like the work is so slow and everybody is getting eager to go into there. And actually, a lot of children are stranded because there's no classrooms for them. Why don't they speed up?
Yes, we're all very anxious about the jobs we do in this stage. Once the person starts, especially the person will finish tomorrow.
Yes.
If I'm sure you've been to Nana, and you know that building is not ordinary.
No, it's not. It's fantastic.
It's not ordinary, and they are taking their time to finish it. Just like they took their time to finish St. Patrick's and Sabbath. I will have about 12 of those schools. I think early next year they should finish furnished. The plan we actually have for Nana is, apart from the school building, because we talked about sports, we are putting up a sporting facility, like a mini stadium in that place. April, May next year we should finish that.
Okay, thank you, sir. Scholarship scheme for Delta students. Recently you gave scholarship to 135 graduates first class and what have you. And you say you spend 1.5 billion annually for these people. Now, a lot of disadvantaged children, especially from the poor home and all that, wonder how they can be part of it. Because people believe that it is those who are there on top actually get this. Choose it.
Contrary to that, actually it is those at the bottom. What I mean bottom, that is children of those who are not too well to do. That's that gets them. Now we have several scholarship schemes.
Yes.
First we have the bursary, which we have increased from 10,000 to 20,000, and that covers a lot of our children, thousands of our children. Once you make the minimum GPA. Now, scholarship, what is scholarship? It has to do with somebody who has brain. Not just because you are rich or you are poor.
Yeah. So
first of all, you must have the brain. And having the brain does not depend on how much you have. If it has to do with money, many of us will not be where we are today.
yes.
Because I wasn't brought up by rich parents, but if you know my background, I was brought up in the village where I had to go to farm and go to fish and all that. But I'm still where I am today. So it's not about being rich or being poor. But once you are doing well, we do not go out looking for your parents. No, we don't. We don't go out looking for your parents. I want to encourage parents to encourage their children to do well. Because doing well starts from the family. And it doesn't depend on whether you are rich or you are poor. In fact, the children of the rich ones, really, many of them do not do well because the parents do not have time for them. Again, let me say thank you, mothers. Thank you, women.
Thank you, sir.
Because women seem to have more time for the children than women. What do I mean? Women know when the children wake up, when they have their bath, when they go to school, the school they go to. Even some know the child is sitting with his or her visitation to schools. Yes. They know it. But ask many men. Some do not even know the name of the school of their children. All they do is to bring out the money. But the education starts from the home. Many of these children we are seeing today that are criminals, that are armed robbers, that are kidnappers and all that, the problem started from the home. And I want to encourage parents to start taking care of their children. Right from the home. Going back to the scholarship issue, we do not discriminate on the scholarship issue. We have so many categories of scholarship. We have the bursary, which is quite heavy. We have the scholarship. That means you do exams to determine whether you are qualified or not. Then we have scholarship for law graduates, those who are in law school.
Yes.
We are starting the one for aviation. Of course, we have the one for the first class graduates. And you know, the one of the first class, you don't even know who is the father or who is the mother. I'll tell you a story about this last one. It was when I was giving out the scholarship. I gave to, I felt it, how are you? Now, I had known her. I know her. You know, I used to work in BSc as a medical practitioner. When her mother was in labor, I was called as the doctor to come and see her. And that's why I took over the delivery. So I delivered that girl. As a doctor, I delivered that girl. But I got to know her later as, then she used to call me FLT. First loving touch. You know, why I brought that one is that I didn't even know she was going for the scholarship until I had to give her envelope. You know, naturally, they would have lobbied me. Oh, come on, the mother of parents would have lobbied me. But they didn't tell me, nobody told me about her. I just saw her there, and I was very excited, you know, seeing her there.
You tend to know all your patients.
I love medical practice.
Because that's not the first one.
Yes, I was cast. I loved the job I did at DS, and I was very close to the. I don't really call it patients, really. You know, I was quite close to it. So it's what I'm trying to say is that they would have lobbied me, but they didn't. Nobody told me about it, and because it's automatic. So it's not about whether you know anybody or who you know. It's about having the brain to qualify for the scholarship.